Hello, I'm going to explain a couple of ways which you can use my characters with mixamo animations or any animations that you get from the asset store. So if you open up the models folder, you'll see this character, which you can see is a skeletal mesh. That means that it has a skeleton assigned. If it didn't have a skeleton, then it would come in only as a mesh. So you can further see that the skeleton exists on the character if you open up the asset by double clicking it. And if I bring this across, you can see that it has a skeleton assigned in this tab, like this skeleton is assigned to the mesh. The picture might be different here, but that's just because the preview mesh it selected a different mesh. So I can change this to the character. Now you can see my character here. It's just the preview mesh. I can select anything here. Anything that works with this skeleton, you can preview on the asset. Now I'll move the bones so that you can see it's correctly assigned. Like it's got the skeleton. So I'll save this. Now I'll go to the maps and I'll just go to the render map. And if you want to create an animation sequence with the character, what you need to do is first you need to make a sequence. So I'm just going to make a new folder. I'll call this sequences. I'll open this, I'll right click, and you'll need to make an animation sequence. So a little sequence like this. I'm just going to call it test, and I'll drag and drop it in the scene. It has to be dragged and dropped into the scene. If you want it to play automatically, you have to click autoplay. Now I'm going to open the level sequence, and what I'm going to do is, there's kind of two ways of doing this. So the character which is already in the scene is a blueprint. It's different than a skeletal mesh because it's got scripts applied to it. It's got some sort of logic. I'll just delete this guy because I'm going to put the model in the scene. And if you want to place him where that character was before, you can drag and drop it under actor and you can zero out these transforms like this. And then just bring it down slightly and I'll rotate him. So this is just the skeleton right now, it's not the blueprint. Because the blueprint and the skeleton, they're different things. The blueprint is a character that you can drop into the scene and you can run around with like a third-person character. So now I'm just going to drag and drop this into here. And you can see that there's a line here for animation. So if I just wanted to add some animation that was already in the project, I'll go into demo third person because I've added some demo animations which normally come with the mannequin. So if I drag and drop this into here, for example, now you can see that he is using the animation, he's jumping. If I scrub forward, you can see it playing the animation. Okay, so he can successfully use Unreal Engine 4 animations in a sequence like that. And if you want to import something from Mixamo, so you've downloaded your animation from Mixamo, so I just downloaded this one from Mixamo before. So I'm going to create a new folder here, I'll call it Mixamo Animations. I'm going to open this one and I'll drag and drop this into the project. So when you import an animation, I just like to choose skeletal mesh and import mesh because I just want to see what's inside the file. I don't want to assign any skeleton because I'll have it create a new one. I want to import animations, make sure that's checked, otherwise it won't work. Here. This is totally all fine. Usually I put 60 in here because otherwise it can take a little bit longer. And I won't create materials. And I won't import textures because I don't need them. So I'll import that. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. Okay, here we go. So now I've imported a new skeleton, a new model, and some other stuff. This is the animation. This is from Mixamo. So we've got a skeleton here, which has come in. And we need to basically retarget these animations onto the other skeleton, so onto the mannequin skeleton, which this character is using, so that they work with the character. Because if I just try and drag them on here, it's not going to work, because they need to be retargeted to the correct skeleton. Because in Unreal Engine, skeletons are not compatible with each other because they have different naming. So you actually have to tell it like how it's going to be retargeted to the other skeleton. So what I'm going to do is right click on this one and I'll select retarget to another skeleton. Oh, actually no, sorry. Before I do this, I have to set up something in here. So I need to open the skeleton and go to retarget manager. And I need to select humanoid rig like this. And then I need to select the targets for the skeleton. So I've got all the bone names on the left hand side here, and I'm going to choose which one they're similar to on the other skeleton. So I've got the hips here. I think this one there's no root, so this can be left blank. So I'm just going to press the cross there. Go. Spines. You can auto map it if you want. It might not come out 100% correctly though, so you have to make sure that you go in and just make sure that it's using the correct bones, because this says upper arm and this is left hand pinky, so it's not going to work. And this is like standard for any mixamo animations. It's just, unfortunately, that's how Unreal Engine works if you're assigning animations from another skeleton. If you buy any marketplace animations, it will work automatically because they're compatible with the mannequin skeleton. But I'll just go ahead and assign all of these quickly so that you can just see how it works. Forearm, left hand, right shoulder, this is right arm, right forearm, right hand, neck, head. This is the thighs, so that's left upper leg, left leg, the right thigh, right upper leg. Okay, so that's everything there. I'm just going to show the advanced things as well, which is the smaller parts of the character, like the fingers and the toes and things like that. So we've got left index, that's going to align to left hand index. This is left hand index 2, left hand index 3, we've got left hand middle 1. It takes a while to do it for the first character, but you only have to do this for the first mixamo animation that you import, because the next mixamo animation you import, you'll choose this skeleton when you're importing it, so then you'll automatically have all of these retargeting properties available. Oh, sorry, that was right hand middle that I selected by accident. It should be left hand middle. And also left hand index 3 there, middle 2, left hand pinky 3. Down 3. We've got the left forearm. And these are twist bones, so I'm going to remove them because the mixamo character doesn't have any twist bones, so it's no good. You have to do the same with the right hand as you did with the left hand. For the rest of these, I'm just going to remove them because I think it's enough to see the left hand. Yeah, if you don't need all of the finger animation, then you don't even have to include any of these anyway. You can just remove them. Although some that I will include is the feet. So left foot toe base. That's right foot toe base. Ball R. Ball L will be left foot toe base. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna add. And just one more thing that we want to do is probably just save this mapping so that you can use it later. So I'll call this mixamo mapping. Save that. That will mean that, yeah, like I said before, any other mixamo characters, you can just press load here and you can load the mixamo mapping so that you don't have to set up all of this again. So this is a step that you only have to do one time. I'm going to modify the pose as well, because it has to kind of match the UE4 mannequin pose for the character to look correct. So I'm going to lower the shoulder a bit. Every time that you make a change here, you have to set a key. Oh no, you don't. No, it's okay. So I'm just going to lower it into the correct pose. So it roughly matches that mannequin pose. In the mannequin, the forearm is bent out slightly like that. And the legs are probably a little bit more apart as well. And then the feet and 10 inwards a little bit. Okay, so now I'm going to retarget manager and then click modify pose and click use current pose. Okay, I'll save that. And now we should be able to retarget those animations. So if I click on this skeleton, I'll go retarget to another skeleton. Now you can see that there's a skeleton here that I can choose from. So I can retarget all of, see here, animation data, animation assets, and anim blueprints. It's going to transfer them to this mannequin skeleton, which I made. You can do it that way, that will transfer everything, or you can just select the files individually. You can go retarget, and you can duplicate them and retarget so that you can still keep the originals. And that way I can, I'll put a prefix here, I'll go mannequin underscore. And I'll put them in the same folder as this. So I'll put them in Xandra animation. Demo third person. We'll go mannequin animations. That's where these are. They're in mixamo animation. So I'll go okay. Then I'm going to retarget those. And now you can see that it's made some duplicate animations which are based on these. So this one right here is the dancing one. I can assign this to the character. And now he can do the mixamo animation, which was downloaded from mixamo.com. See? That's how you can play it in a sequence. But of course, if you want to use the animation blueprint, all you would do is put this animation in the animation blueprint as well. So if you need to use the animation blueprint, I'm happy to make a video on that for you as well. But as far as I can tell, it sounds like you want to use a sequence. So I hope that this answers the questions that you had about retargeting, and let me know if there's any issues. Thanks.